My manipulative sister convinced our parents I'd ruin their business. I invited her ex-fiancé to dinner and revealed everything. My sister and I are twins, a fact we both hate. We might have shared our mother's womb, but nothing is similar between us. We are polar opposites. She has always been their favorite child and I have never had any problem with it. I love my parents, but they are too gullible and my sister has always exploited this. But her recent actions are just too much. We were never too fond of one another, but what she recently did has made me throw out any trace of sisterly love and now I'm just done with her. I have always been interested in photography and wanted to make a career out of it, something my parents didn't really approve of. My dad has his firm and always hoped that one of us will run it, something my sister has always been very enthusiastic about. But he wanted me to do something else. Anything that they found suitable enough, as photography wasn't something they thought could pay well. It was really difficult for me to convince my parents. And I was almost there when my sister used this to her advantage. She fed them lies about how this is a poor career choice and that I would take huge sums of money from my dad's firm later on for my own studio, which would only end in a tremendous business loss. She pretended to care about my dad's business and kept on manipulating them for months, something I recently got to know about. My parents are now demanding that I give up everything for my sister. She told them that naming her as the sole heir would safeguard the property, and if I ever really need money, she'd be more than happy to give it to me after checking if it was a good investment or not. Again, another lie. For the past few weeks, all I did was try to convince my parents that whatever my sister told them was simply not true. But they were just not willing to listen to me. So I decided to do the ultimate thing. She had no idea about me having this card up my sleeve. I invited her ex-fiancé to our family dinner, something no one knew about. It would be a great surprise. A very memorable one, at least. My sister and her ex-fiancé have a very messy story. Although my sister acts too sweet and innocent in front of our parents, in reality, she is very shrewd and cunning. The only reason why she was everyone's favorite child was that she always used her lies to get out of every problem. Her ex-fiancé used to be my best friend. That is until my sister created misunderstandings between us. We were able to sort that out only after they broke up. Now the real reason why they broke up was that my sister had cheated on him, and not just once. She has been cheating on him multiple times with multiple people now. And when she got exposed, she was neither embarrassed or ashamed about it. She blatantly accepted it and simply told him that they should just tell everyone that they are mutually breaking up instead of creating a mess. My sister had always been the most popular girl at school. Everyone loves her and those who don't fear her. She is known to spread terrible rumors about people. People who believe those rumors think she is so sweet and innocent, for the ones about whom the rumors are, know the reality. But I had made it my goal at that point to expose her reality in front of my parents. She has always tried her best to put me in trouble. Throw me under the bus. But now she was trying to ruin my career and I would not have it. The anticipated night finally comes and my sister keeps on with her snarky comments about who this mystery guy is. She keeps on telling my parents that I have a terrible choice in men normally, so if this guy is my date they should be cautious. I told my mom that he is just a friend and nothing more, but hearing all of these things was fun because the guy was her past choice. Soon, he arrives and my sister is shocked to see him. My parents, however, welcome him warmly. My sister had made him tell everyone that their breakup was mutual, so my parents held no grudge. As the dinner starts, our parents start asking him questions about his life and what he is currently doing. I can see my sister's face growing stern with each second, and boy, I would be lying if I said I did not enjoy it. So the subject of dating arises and my mom casually asks him if he is dating anyone right now. He simply replies that he has not found anyone nice enough and people these days are not honest. They just lie and cheat. My sister was visibly uncomfortable and her discomfort could be sensed easily. I quickly took the opportunity and added that it is difficult to find someone good these days and it is such a shame that he and my sister broke up because my sister is such a nice girl who would never cheat on someone. My mom started talking about how she has met a lot of nice girls around, to which I was quick to point out that most people just lie and deceive others by pretending to be sweet. One by one, we kept on taking digs at her until she was almost at the edge and I knew that I had to keep on going until I could push her off the edge. Exposing her true nature was my goal and I was not backing away anytime soon. Dinner was almost over when my mom went to bring the dessert and my dad followed her to help. That was the chance she was waiting for. Because oh boy, this woman, my sister, sees red and it's clear as water. She suddenly changed her tired, kind expression and went on from looking sweet and polite to rude and angry. She literally grabbed my arm and asked me what my intention was. Then she started telling her ex to immediately leave or she would make sure to ruin his life. I could see our parents coming back from the kitchen and I was not going to let this opportunity go away. So I did everything that I could to trigger her. It was a huge risk, but I had to do it. I started accusing her of everything that she has ever done, including cheating on her ex multiple times. I kept on saying everything about all of her past actions, about how every time something happened, she pretended to be the good girl and threw me under the bus. I even went on to say that she is just after our parents' money and is trying to ruin my career. She did not expect my outburst, and I was terrified because my parents were literally in the back listening to everything that I was saying, and if my sister did not react, I would be in trouble. But there is a thing called karma. The truth will come out one day. And so it happened. My sister started spilling all of her bloody secrets. And she started smiling and laughing as if she is very proud of everything that she had done. And she admitted to having manipulated our parents for years and went on to say that I can never convince them otherwise. I have never been more satisfied in my entire life. It was my dad's voice calling my sister's name, which made her go crazy. She did not expect my plan. She had no idea that our parents heard everything and tried her best to explain how this is all some dirty plot that I made. But my parents had heard enough. They simply went back to their room after asking me to tell my sister to go away for now because they didn't even want to look at her. Update 1. As gullible as my sister thought my parents were, they were just as strict. But I did not expect them to be this harsh. It's been 2 days since I exposed my sister, and my parents have not spoken to her after that. Not a word. However, they are behaving normally with me while they are giving my sister the cold shoulder. My sister obviously blames me for everything that has happened and keeps on throwing threats like flower petals about how she will ruin my life as if she has not done enough already. Update 2. It's been a week. Both of us, me and my sister, talked to our parents. There were 3 conversations. One with each of us and one where both of us were sitting together. I don't know what our parents exactly told her when they were having a private conversation, but she stormed out of the house with tears, so it must have been bad for her. However, it was really good for me. My parents were actually interested in my photography and wanted to hear more about it. They apologized to me for not trying to be as understanding as they were with my sister. They told me that they don't understand me and my choices, but they sure will try. They showed genuine interest in my art and my photography, and nothing could have made me happier. Then we discussed my sister. They asked me why I did that entire thing instead of just telling them everything, to which I simply replied that I was not sure if they would believe me. They asked me if I want to be the sole heir of their property because, after everything, they are not sure if they even want to give anything to my sister. After all, it feels like she only wants this materialistic stuff. I told them that they don't need to give me anything at the moment, and if I ever require any money for my studio or other things, I will simply ask for it. The conversation that we had as a family was mostly about my parents saying how they have always misunderstood me, while the real disappointment was my sister. It felt good to be understood for the first time. My sister kept on blaming me, but I really don't care about what she says anymore. Update 3. It's been 2 weeks and my sister has made it her motto to annoy me. Initially, I kept on ignoring her comments, but it was getting too much, so I told my parents everything, and they were furious. She did not expect me to go and tell everything to them. My parents told her that if she wants to live with them in their house, she has to start behaving and she cannot treat me in a poor manner. So for the past few days, she is not talking much to me and I am relieved, but I don't know how long this will continue. I don't trust her. In other news, my parents recently visited a gallery where pictures that I had clicked were put on display. And another exhibition is coming up soon and they have decided to visit that as well. I could not be happier. Life is finally going on the right track. I 23 male brought my 6-year-old nephew to the skate park yesterday because he just got a skateboard for his birthday. I have been skating since I was his age, so he has always seen me riding and has always been super interested. He has used my board a few times and he is actually quite good. I also do amateur photography and whatnot, so I brought my camera with me to get some good shots of my nephew's first time at the skate park to give to my sister, his mom, for her upcoming birthday. It's probably important to note that this skate park is on the large side. It has 6 different bowls, all of different sizes. Easily like 10 vertical ramps, 6 half pipes all at different areas, a few spines and wave ramps. The place is big. When we got there the place was dead. It was around noon. He played hooky from school because it was his birthday. I had him set up at the smallest bowl and he, at this point, was just getting a feel for the board and going down the side that hardly had a dip to make sure he had good balance. I had already taken quite a few candid shots of him at this point. Probably about 20 or so minutes later, a group of your typical skater kids who think they own the place show up and immediately start making snarky remarks about a little fucking kid ruining their spot. Not loud enough for my nephew to hear, but loud enough for me to hear. I don't anything at this point because I didn't want my nephew to see that ignorance. I just ignore them and continue taking random shots and helping him do his little trick. He can do like half a kickflip and he was super excited about it, fucking adorable. These skater kids are still making ignorant comments and I, at this point, am starting to shoot them death glares because I am fed up honestly. They weren't even skating. They were sitting down on a half pipe just running their mouths. Besides that, hardly any seasoned skater would be using the tiny ass kiddie bowl that we were in, so it wasn't like we were hogging up the place. Every time I look over they are doing jerk off motions or some weird ass cocky lip curl. But at one point one of the guys approached us as my nephew and I were heading out and asked if I was a professional photographer because he saw me taking photos of my nephew, and I politely said that I did do photography but I am in no way a professional. He yells back to his friends with the dude, "This guy is a photographer," and then turns to me and says, "Mind taking some shots of us?" So I said sure, but it would cost them. He asks how much and I said, well, I charge a scumbag fee, so $500. Needless to say, this guy started wigging out. His words, he said he was gonna wig out, because I called him a scumbag. My nephew was already in the car, so I just got in the vehicle and leave. I tell a buddy of mine what happened afterwards and he says I am an a-hole because it was unnecessary and that every skater gets pissed when kids are taking up the skate park, so I shouldn't have expected anything less. Am I the a-hole? My sister has ADHD and has been to therapy when she was younger, but doesn't go anymore. She also isn't medicated anymore, because of having kids and needing to breastfeed for a few years now. It has made her difficult to deal with. Making plans with her is stressful because she can't commit to anything without changing the plans multiple times. If we have plans that I'll go babysit her kids, I can expect to be called about it 5 times the day of, so she can run through what's happening and if there have been any changes that she needs to tell me about. She has also become a bit controlling. If I'm not doing what she thinks is right, it'll stress her out and she'll become unpleasant. The other day I spent the night at her house but told her I needed to do school stuff in the evening. She was okay with it, but then when I was staying up till around 12 a.m. to finish it, she kept telling me to go to bed. Staying up is unhealthy and getting irritated that I'm not listening to her. Later I found out that she'd called our mom to complain and say that I'm doing bad with school stress. It's just not true. I was irritable because of her. And also I've always been a night owl, she knows that. So to the current issue. Our mom is moving and sister is organizing it. I was asked to be the babysitter for the move day. Then she called and told me the move day had been changed and I was needed as general move help and not babysitting. I was mad because the day she moved it to was a day where I already had plans of my own with our dad, who is also supposed to be moving help. They're divorced. So she essentially canceled our plans and made us switch days with the move and our own plans. I told her it was fine eventually because I want to help mom. After I'd told her I was okay with the change of days, I went back to bed because it was very early in the morning and I'd had a rough night the day before. I could hear her still messaging me, but I just put on Do Not Disturb and fell asleep. When I woke up, she had called me twice and left me 14 texts that I can't read because they were deleted. The only one I could see was one where she informed me of the time I need to be at my mom's house and ones where she gave me for not picking up and being an active part of planning this and not being allowed to chip in the plans if I won't be on my phone when she needs to talk about it. Apparently, her planning is that time sensitive. I just pretty much ignored her messages. She says I'm the a-hole for ignoring her. I think I'm not, because she can't demand me to be ready to plan with her the moment she chooses, especially because I was tired and planning with her is a literal nightmare. But I guess the reason I think I might be the a-hole is that I consciously ignored her and let her get stressed about it and chose to go to sleep instead. All I had told her is that I would show up to help, but nothing else. So am I the a-hole?